Hello, hello. So today what we're going to do is we're going to run through a short little mobility flow with the goal of just moving through our joints, getting our blood flowing, a little blood circulating, and then just loosening the body up before we jump into our activity, whether that be running, riding, or anything else, along those lines. So we're going to run through 5 movements. Our goal is 5 to 10 minutes. Whether you run through 1 or 2 rounds of it will definitely dictate whether that's a 5 or a 10 minute flow. But again, this is a prep or a cool down, nice and light, nothing intense. You could certainly add to it as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's jump into our first movement, which is going to be our spinal segmentation. So I'll show you from the side. What we're going to do is we're going to set up hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to drop the belly button down to the ground, chest and chin to the sky. And then from there, we're just going to slowly walk up the back, moving through each joint as we round the lower back, round the mid back, round the upper back, and tuck that chin. And then from here, just reversing that process. Lower back down to the ground, mid back down, chest and chin up tall. So let's go ahead, let's work through 8 reps here. And this will be a nice little follow along. And we're just going to run through 1 round too as we move through everything. That way we're not killing time too much. And if you choose to run through a second round, beautiful. But again, the goal here, slow, rhythmic, no rush. Just trying to get the spine flexing and extending. Something we definitely take for granted, spending a lot of our day hunched over. Good, moving in through number 5 here. Let's work through 3 more. And again, this shouldn't be painful at all. This shouldn't cause any issues. If it does, please stop, reassess, make sure you're set up properly. And if it's still giving you trouble, then maybe we should talk in person. Again, I like to tuck the toes back here too, just so I get a little extra stretch on the plantar fascia as well. But you can certainly relax the toes and have them pointed out at the bottom there as well. There's no right or wrong. Cool. Let's go ahead, let's jump into our next one here. It's going to be our 90-90 front folds. So when we set up for our 90-90s, the goal here is our front knee comes straight out from the front of the hip. Nice little 90-degree angle there. And then the same thing on the back side here, where back knee is going to come straight out from the side of the hip. Nice little 90-degree angle at the knee, hence 90-90s. Use the hand to help prop you up tall. You can also grab a yoga block or something as well if you need to kind of help prop you up a little bit more. No problem there. If you want the extra challenge, pick the hand up, but we want to make sure we keep that front knee pinned down to the ground. So then from here, just a nice fold forward and right back up tall. And the idea is we keep that chest tall. We're folding from the hip. We're not rounding the back as we fold over. So we should get a nice big stretch here on the back side of the hip. Definitely on the back side of that hip. And then through the inside of the hamstring as well. And again, if you have some trouble, feel free to prop the hand down. There's no right or wrong. Sometimes I'll throw the hand down to help pull me into the stretch a little bit more. You can definitely get a little extra out of it. Let's hit 1 more rep here. Cool. And then we'll flip to the other side. And when we do so, I'm going to do this one from the side just so you can see the setup too. So make sure we're all good. Again, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. I'm up nice and tall and folding forward. And just take note if one side is a little bit tougher than the other. You can do a little breakout. You can put a little bit more focus on one side of the hip if you need. If you're finding that one side is much tougher than the other side. You can also hang out here for a minute or 2 before you start your folds to get a nice little stretch through the hips before we start folding into them. Cool, that should be 8 there. And from this next position, we're going to go ahead and come up on both knees. Again, I tuck the toes here just to get a little extra stretch, but just to help keep the hips forward and up nice and tall. From here, both arms are going to be down by the side, and we're going to work through each shoulder independently. So the idea here is we start palm open. I'll throw the hand on the hip just so I keep that steady and I'm not wandering it around. But here we're going to come across the body, all the way up overhead. I'm going to pause and I'm going to rotate that thumb out away from the body. Continue that rotation so that way the palm is down by the side. Thumb is pointing back behind me. Extend straight back. Turn that thumb back in towards the body and back up and down in front. So again, it should be a full rotation through the shoulder here. Let's run through that nice and slow again. All the way tall, big rotation, extending straight back, rotation, and back around in front. Let's work through 3 more of those. Again, take your time, no rush. Good, we're gonna run 2 more before we switch sides. All the way up nice and tall. Big stretch to the lat here as well. Good, and reverse the process, back around, last one. Awesome, I'm gonna switch sides from here. Same thing, get that shoulder nice and loose, palm open. Coming up and across the body. Pause, big rotation. Down at the bottom, thumb pointing back behind me. Extend, twist, and back down in front. Good. The idea here too is we're fighting the hips. We don't want to be twisting in the hips. We don't want to twist the upper body. Just want to make sure that we're rotating through the shoulder alone. I'm going to run 3 more here. Good. Should be feeling pretty good. We got 2 left. And we're going to finish out with just 1 more rep here. Make sure the hips are pushing forward. We're up nice and tall. And coming back around for the last rep. Cool. So we're going to finish up with 2 more exercises here. Next one, we're going to go ahead. Actually, the last 2 we're going to go ahead and lay down for. So first, we want to keep one knee bent. Actually, I'm sorry, we want to keep that leg extended straight out. Let's go ahead and pull the other leg into the chest. I like to take the hands behind the knee. That way I'm not pulling on the lower back either. So I'll bring those hands behind the knee, pull that in nice and tight. And then with our straight leg, we want to make sure we try and keep those toes up to the sky. So then from here, we're going to draw a nice, easy ankle circle. Nice and steady, no rushing. The idea is that we're only moving through that ankle. Taking our time, we're going to work 10 rotations one way before we reverse back 10 rotations the other way. You might hear some cracking and popping. And 1 more rep. Cool, let's go ahead and reverse them back around now. And the idea here is that I'm drawing the circle with my big toe. So I'm trying to make as big of a circle as I can while also just moving through that ankle. I don't want to move the shin. I don't want to move the hip. I just want to get some nice, good ankle movement. And last one. Cool. Let's go ahead, let's switch. Don't forget about the other leg. Again, focus on toes to the sky, hands behind the knee. Should get a nice big stretch there in the front of the hip too with that straight leg. And let's go ahead and work into our rotations. You know, and just like with everything else that we've done unilaterally, one side at a time, just take note. You know, does one side feel a little bit tougher? Is one side a little bit stiffer than the other? Does one side move a little bit more freely? You know, it's just all things to kind of become aware of in your own body. That was 10. Let's go ahead and bring them back around now. And again, no rush here. Letting that big toe kind of dictate the circle. Definitely a big stretch in the calf too as you work around there. Another area that tends to get a little stiff on us. And let's finish up 1 more rep. Awesome. So in the last part, we're just going to run through a little 3-way bridge. But the idea here is that we just want to get the hips extended up, get a nice little stretch through the hips, get the glutes engaged. So I'm going to start with my feet totally together here. Little space in the knees, and then I'm going to squeeze the glutes. Palms will stay up towards the sky here, shoulders down on the ground, and I'm going to drive the hips up. Lower with control. We're going to run through 5 reps. Again, focus on squeezing the glutes, extending the hips, not the chest. So I'm really driving through the hips to get up tall. And 1 more. So then from here, let's bring the feet out right to shoulder height, or shoulder width, sorry. And same exact thing. Let's run through 5 more reps. And again, just addressing the glutes from a little bit different setup with each one. And one more rep. Cool. Now we're going to open up just outside shoulder width or hip width. Knees should stay pointing outward. They shouldn't cave in. And again, squeezing the glutes, driving the hips up to the sky. These should feel pretty good too. These are usually a nice big extension in the hips for a lot. Good. I'm going to go 2 more times. Shouldn't be any lower back pain here at all. Perfect. There's our 5. Awesome. We should be a little bit looser by now. We should be feeling a little bit better. Everything should be moving a little bit nicer. But again, you can run through that 2 times if you want. You can just stick with 1 round. The idea is we're just working through 5, big rotational movements with the shoulders, the ankles, getting the hips moving in the 90-90s. Spine is moving well. We should be ready to rock and roll from here. All right, take care. See you in the next one.